It's not like what people think about you. Men are falling into traps. He is not acting like a boy child. He is not acting like a man. Doesn't it go like that? You will not say, I wish I knew, because you are forewarned. Boy child, I ask you to use your 6 senses wherever you are. I welcome you to the platform for BoyChild by Grandma Rose. Today we are going to talk about the 6 senses. And the reason why we are discussing this is because men are falling into traps. Men are getting defrauded. That means you have money, you got a deal, the deal just goes bad. They are being cheated and they are becoming victims and not decision makers. Probably they have been unable to make the right judgment. If your mind is in the right state, if you consult before you make a decision, if you do not rush and do it when you are emotionally high, probably the judgment can be a good one. Sometimes somebody says, sleep on it before you make a decision. Just spend 1 or 2 days without rushing to make a decision. And probably after thinking through, you come to a better decision and judgment. Most of the boy children, they believe easily. Someone comes and tells you something and you just take it as the truth. That means that you are easily deceived. All that comes easy also goes easy. Getting rich is a matter of God's blessings, hard work, planning, putting your time into it, and actually not wavering. Men also are coming into traps because they think they are strong. Emotionally, you are strong. Physically, you are strong. You believe you are a man, and then you are indestructible. Therefore, you find yourself in places whereby you still feel you can win because you think you are strong. But sometimes it is not the strength or being indestructible that matters. Probably it is the wit. People can plan on you and they can pry on you to finish you while you don't know what they are planning, but you're still believing in yourself. So it is a good thing to listen around. All that glitters is not gold, and it will call on you. You'll be pulled into situations whereby you think it is a good deal because it is glittering, but then you find yourself it is not as good as you think. That when the deal is too good, you think twice. Have you gotten into that plot, being in a deal that you think it is too good? Has your mind told you, this is too good to be true? This is too good to be truth. Walk away. This is why people have bought things that are non-existent. Farms, plots, businesses, even at times investing your money into a scheme because the deal is too good. We have a saying in my language that says, whoever is fearful goes back to his mother without being harmed. He goes back to his mother whole. It's not like what people think about you. He is not acting like a man. Doesn't it go like that? He should make a decision without consulting his wife. Doesn't it go like that? I don't know why he did not believe us, because after all, he should believe us because we are men. No. Sometimes when you feel like something is not right, you better go back whole instead of going back home in pieces. And when I mean in pieces, I mean like when someone has taken all your money from your account or from a deal, then you do not go back, like we say, a whole person. When we fail to use the 5 common senses given by God and the 6th sense, there are consequences for it. Everybody knows what a lizard is. It's a reptile. And this reptile has got a tail. Sometimes it will get into cracks, and sometimes even when you are digging on your farm, you may just like dig and the tail gets cut off and you'll stick in the soil and you just see it like moving a little bit. Why am I saying let us be wise like the lizard? Because every time a lizard loses its tail, it doesn't stop. Myself, I have seen it. The tail comes off very, very easily. But I have seen a lizard whose tail has been cut off and it runs so fast and it doesn't look back. What I mean is that there are people who are looking to cut your tail. Cutting your tail means cutting your dreams, cutting your plans, cutting your vision, anything that you might think in business, in studies, and someone may try to distract you. But the tail grows again. It regrows. My tail has been cut off, but it will grow again. There are people who are going to cut off our tails. But we are not going to spend time thinking about why did he do this. We will run for life. And then there will be this consolation. There is a second time and there is a third time and I can try again. I'm trying again because this person has cut off my tail, but he has not cut off my head. If someone cuts off your head, then you are no more, because you cannot think. That someone might even think that I'm not after the tail. When I cut the tail, I was actually after the head. So men are in danger. Boy child, they are falling into traps. How can they use their five senses? The sense of hearing. When you hear something, you like being in the public place and also in the public eye. Sometimes you are out even with people that you do not know, even in the wrong hours, probably at night. And sometimes you may hear something like a warning sign to you. There is someone who is plotting something. Someone who has said something like, after we leave here, we are going to. Or this is the plan that we have for so and so. That you are treading on dangerous waters. What you hear has warned you. Be cautious and walk away. Why do we walk away? We walk away because our sense of hearing has actually warned us. We have heard there is a plan. Even if it might not destroy me in person, I might be included when they hear what happened here. We have something that was stolen. Who was with you? This place was broken into. Who was there? There was a plan to do this and the other. Who was there? And then you're counted in. And probably you tell yourself, I heard something, but I ignored it. I wish I had listened. The other sense is the sense of sight. You have to detect the surroundings. You have to interpret with your brain what your eyes see. You may see good, you may see exciting, you may see evil, you may see danger. Nobody needs to tell you something, but you detect it and then you interpret with your brain. And then this prompts action because you recognize that there is danger. So we have to be alert that when we are in a public place, our eyes are looking around to see how people are behaving, to see what is happening. The language of sight, what you see, is not like a foreign language. It's not a foreign language that someone needs to interpret for you. What you see for yourself, your brain will interpret for you and it will warn you. Are we seeing those warning signs? And are we taking caution of what we see? And so I'll keep on going back to the drugs and alcohol. I should be alert when things happen. So sometimes the sense of sight, the sense of hearing, you may see it but not be able to interpret if your state of mind is not sober. The sense of smell, very important. It gives you a warning. If a fire starts in the house, you will smell the smoke. There are people who have died in houses, in their apartments. And when they die in their apartments, then they'll say there is a bad smell coming from that apartment. We have not seen our neighbor for about 1 week now. What if? If you really want to be a clean boy child, and you go to a place where you smell that smoke of, do they call it bangi? We call it marijuana. The smell will tell you what they are smoking. And probably you still want to be a part of that friendship. We go to joints. It might be a party with people of your age, like age mates, or you may be schoolmates, you may be college mates. The drinks are being spiked with chemicals and drugs, and even poisons. So what happens? They advise that when you are out in a social place, do not leave your drink unattended. Don't leave it and use the restroom. Pay attention. When you taste, if it tastes even slightly different, you have been warned. It's not tasting the same as when I left it. That's a warning that God can give you. And therefore, we have heard of cases of many people. Something is being put in their drink, and something is being put in their food. By the time they realize, girls and even young men have been raped. By the time they realize, many bad things have happened. We have to warn you, boy child. We have to ask you to take caution. We have to tell you that all is not well. If you do not take care of yourself, then nobody is going to take care of you. The sense of touch. The sense of touch is very interesting because it is a sense that gives you pain or pressure. It gives you pain or pressure. The brain is able to interpret what is communicated to you. Is it a touch of hate? When someone just bangs onto you? When someone just scratches you and pinches you? When someone pushes you around? There is also the friendly touch, sisterly touch, brotherly touch, parental touch. It is for you to know who has touched me. Why have they touched me? Am I keeping my personal space? If I do not know you, I do not want you to come so close to me. I do not want you to talk to me when you are on my face, and I do not know the intentions. That sense of touch is supposed to warn you. When it happens, even though it goes to the brain, it also goes to the heart. It excites the whole body. And when it excites the whole body, it's for you to know what are the boundaries. You have to be in control. If you are using alcohol and you are using drugs, you don't know the boundaries. It has to go from your heart to your head. Interpret with your head. What does this mean? Someone may think, yes, it is a good touch, but I am not ready to be a father now. Therefore, what the sense of touch is telling you, control yourself. Control yourself as much as possible. Because self-control is very, very important if and when you are a young person. You also have to think like a Christian when the sense of touch comes. Is this morally right? If I don't run away like a lizard, my head will get cut. If I don't use my hearing, my sight, my smell, my taste, sense, people have ignored and people have died. Recently, there was a young man that was killed. He was just moving with groups from one club to the other, and then time is going on up until night. He is going into a strange house. They are speaking a language that probably he may not be able to understand outright. They are into behaviors that he doesn't understand, and therefore they are also in plans whereby he doesn't know what is happening. What would have happened if this young man, who was 22 years old, if he had interpreted earlier, what do I see? What do I hear? What kind of expression am I seeing in these people? Probably he would have been safer. We also have a sixth sense. The sixth sense is very, very, very important. And almost everybody has this sixth sense. Some people call it the gut feeling. The gut is like inside the stomach. You feel it there. You feel like, Other people say it is that small voice that comes, that small voice. Other people may not even be able to explain what it is. It is just something that comes and says no. It will warn you. And it is a strong feeling. If someone is talking about this very good deal, you say, it can't be true. That first feeling, your brain interpreted and your brain told you no, it can't be true. That voice is very, very important. When I was talking to my group of men, we were talking about the Holy Spirit. And they said it is the Holy Spirit that comes and warns us. And in John chapter 14, Jesus saying, I am not going to leave you like orphans. I'll leave for you the Holy Spirit, who will be your advocate. He will be your friend. He'll be there to guide you, an advocate, to speak on your behalf. And he'll teach you all truth. That is sixth sense. And therefore they interpreted and said, I think this is what the sixth sense is. Because if we do not know God, we may not be able to sense the sixth sense. You cry, you say, I knew it. You not say, I wish I knew, because you are forewarned. So, boy child, I ask you to use your six senses wherever you are, so that you can be reaching your destinations whole. God bless you. God keep you. Please like, follow, and subscribe to the platform for BoyChild by Grandma Rose.